Good evening. This is Gabriel Carranza, and tonight's personal story is titled Honest Disappointment. This story is a recollection over my parents' divorce that took place in 2013. There are certain moments in someone's past that tends to stick with them for the rest of their lives. If you're lucky, that event will be something positive, like your first friend, your first kiss, the first person you ever married, the first child you ever brought into this world. Unfortunately, there are certain events that stick with you that leave behind a negative impact, such as the first time you failed out of school, the first time you've been burglarized, the first time you cut yourself on your knee when you were 10 with a spring in the mattress. Believe me, that's not very nice. But I think the hardest and most negative memories that can exist are the ones that change your perception of people you thought you once knew. In my case, the person that I wound up finding in a different light was my father. And the incident in question occurred actually over the span of several years, but came to a head in 2013. One day in 2013, my mother told me that we needed to have a frank and honest discussion. She simply explained flat out that your father is having an affair and I want a divorce. When she first told me that, I got a chill down my spine because there's a certain feeling of denial that you feel when you hear that someone who raised you to be a good, honest person could possibly do such a dishonest thing as go behind their partner's back. The more I thought of it, however, his behavior over the past few years, his cold attitude towards my mother, his melancholic feelings he would display at home, suddenly made sense, and I suddenly realized that this was true. He was away on business when my mother told me, and when he got back, he actually got rather angry with my mother over basically telling the truth that he was unwilling to tell. A few days later, my entire family, including my sister, mother, and father, and I, sat in our living room and we planned out the future and wanted to know why he did it and where we would go from here. While he admitted to his own wrongdoing and admitted that it wasn't right for him to have this affair and hide it behind our backs, I couldn't help but detect a slight hint of, I guess, self-justification that he felt in committing his adulterous act. He would say how he always felt lonely, how he never found anything wrong with the way he flirted with other women, even though he was already married. And in our objection to his behavior and to what he did, he began to break down and felt somewhat cornered and picked on. The line that will always stick with me was when he said that he wanted our now deceased golden retriever to still be around so that she could be there to support him. For all the bitterness that the divorce brought upon the family, I gotta say, in all honesty, that it really wasn't that bad. Compared to some of the divorces that I see in public and even divorces that happen in my extended family, my parents actually went about their divorce very amicably and respectfully. I think the fact that me and my sister were adults when it happened really eased the tension on who got what and who would inherit which items. To this day, I still speak with my father. I visit with him occasionally for lunch, and we talk normally like father and son would. Same with my mother, since I technically live with her. But even though things between us are somewhat normal, there's always that weird empty feeling you feel when that tiny bit of respect that you once had for someone you knew, when someone that you respected is lost. And more so than the act itself, it's when somebody doesn't live up to the character that they brought you up to be. When somebody taught you to be honest and they themselves turn around and exercise such a dishonesty in the way they carry themselves out. So I suppose the most painful memories are the ones that truly make you feel a hint of honest disappointment. Thank you.